This is the PowerPoint presentation for the mechanical hand project for Group 3. The team members are Dana Jackson, Stella Nakazi, Susanna Lopez-Herrera, Brian Rowland, and Joe Morales, and those are our work breakdowns. Dana is the team leader. Stella, I'm in charge of PowerPoint presentation. Susanna is in charge of videography. Brian is in charge of data compilation. Joe is in charge of report writing. Introduction. The mechanical hand project will be studying the actions of the mechanical hand and how best it carries out its functions, and if in any way it can imitate the human hand. The materials being used in the project are rubber bands, cardboard, thread, stroke string, tape, glue, scissors, ruler, paper cutter, cups, a die, golf ball, 3 boxes, stroke blocks. The human hand is used for various day-to-day activities and tasks. It's used in washing dishes, writing, lifting items from one place to another, and of course, even though it seems to be working alone, it's just a vessel holding together some of the parts of the muscular and skeletal systems. It's comprised of tissue, bones, and ligaments. The bones are the skeletal parts, and the tissue and ligaments are part of the muscular parts of the hand. Functions of the hand are controlled by the somatic nervous system. In this project, the functions of the hand are going to be controlled by the group members with use of the components that mimic the function of tissue, ligaments, and bones. The problem statement: design a mechanical hand using the provided items and test its functionality regarding the function of the human hand and if its mobility can properly mimic that of a human hand. This project is taking into consideration the musculoskeletal functions that the hand carries out. How are the tissue, ligaments, and bones able to work together to get the hand to function?
Hi, my name is Dana Jackson. I am team leader of group number 3. As a group, we developed 2 different hands that models that we used to perform the functions that were required for our class. We learned a lot, and the whole development of this in trying to mimic the human hand is quite challenging to be able to perform the tasks that the human hand performs. Along with only being able to use 4 different materials that also added to our challenge. But as noted before, this was our first model hand. This model hand, we were able to perform all of the tasks. However, the task had to be performed on multiple times. We had to do multiple attempts in order to get the hand to function correctly and to do the tasks that we were required to do. And we all know that the whole idea of developing a mechanical hand is in lieu of someone who actually loses their actual human hand and needs something that's actually going to function similar to the human hand. So a person who has a mechanical hand does not want to have to fight multiple attempts to complete a task. So that was a challenge that we faced. And so we all, as a team, discussed some ideas and some options that might help this hand to develop or to be developed more appropriately, so that it functions more the way it needs to properly. And trial and error was our greatest learning curve. So we agreed that using a heavier duty material would help add reinforcement so that we would not have to compromise weakness of the material whenever we pull the strings to try to make the fingers function. We don't need the cardboard to pull down with it where it's not supposed to. And also it was discussed that if the hands and the fingers were just a little bit longer and bigger, that it would probably be able to perform the task a little more efficiently. So that's what we did. You can see by the second model, the construction of the material is a much heavier cardboard than the first material. And also, not sure if you can see in the video, but the fingers and the hands are a little bit larger and longer. And so with these modifications that we made, we also discovered by this while we were performing tasks, that if we would move this joint from right here in the inside of the thumb and bring it in just a little bit deeper into the palm, we were able to get the movement right here that we needed in this joint. Any of this movement of these joints aids in the ability to pick up an object. So it's very important that we put it in the proper location. By the changes that we developed, along with the reinforcement of added cardboard on the back, thicker cardboard, larger size hand, that modification there, we were able to perform our tasks more efficiently. We were able to accomplish each one of the tasks with much fewer attempts. In fact, most of the attempts had only required one time, and we were able to perform it. So we definitely learned by this. It was a great learning lesson. The difference that we can make in the creation of our development of this hand, we could make it much more functional for an actual human who actually needs to have a hand that's going to perform swiftly, promptly, the way that a human hand functions. I think I can say for all of the team, this was a great learning experience, working together as a team and being able to complete this into something that functions to perform the tasks that we needed to perform. Thank you for the opportunity.
All right, so the engineering calculations used by my team were force, stress, and pound force. Force, of course, is the amount of force or newtons it takes to move a 1 kilogram object 1 meter per second squared. Stress is calculated by dividing force by applied area, and stress is just the amount of force applied to an object, and that kind of affects how much the object is going to bend. And pound force is used in the calculation of applied area, and it accounts for the gravity of an object that's applying force on another object. So in this case, it would be against any of the objects our hands picking up. That would be the golf ball, the cup, the dice, you name it. And this table shows the weight of the objects, and it also shows the stress and the force on our final model and our final model only. Some important things to note here are we accounted for the weight of the cup and then filled the cup and did calculations on both of those. And then you can also see that the cup and the box share the same weight and then act on the same amount of stress, but the force was a little different just because of how we had to pick up the cup and the box. Similar thing with the golf ball, but that just affected stress. The golf ball weighed less than the filled cup, but the stress was greater because we could only use the fingers to pick up the golf ball versus the filled cup used the whole hand, so it was a smaller applied area. And this is a line graph showing an example or a little bit about the last table, this one, but this only shows the stress of the final model, and this shows the stress that we calculated for each one of the models. And you'll see that model 1 had the most amount of stress applied to it at the beginning, and then it drops off because it wasn't able to pick up and we weren't able to manipulate any of the other objects with our first model. Our second model did a lot better, and it was able to successfully complete each task with those objects, but the stress was bigger because the applied area was smaller and the cardboard was not as resistant. And you'll kind of see that the green line is model 2 and the blue line was our final model, which was much bigger, much sturdier, so it had a lot less stress on it. And this is the easiest one to read. This is just the number of attempts it took for each model to complete a task. So the thumbs up was relatively easy for all, same with the boxes. And as I told you in last slide, the dice, empty cup, and golf ball were not able to be manipulated by the first model. The second model took a lot more tries on the dice, empty cup, and golf ball than the final model did. As you can see, the final model only took one try with the exception of dice, and that was just because dice are tiny and it was hard to pick up. Otherwise, it did an excellent job, and you can see that here.
Hi everybody, this is Joe Morales doing the final report for the mechanical hand project. So conclusion-wise, we did do a second version of all the tests that we took with the first mechanical hand. So I will tell the results of that moving forward. So the first test was the die test, pretty much the same as the last time around. Took relatively few tries this time. Started out on a number, the top number on the die. Took the hand, was able to grip, show another number, and then put it back down. So that was a pretty successful test with the new version of the hand. The second test was the golf ball test. This involved some measurements for this one, so we took some sheets of paper, measured out 4 feet, and we did separate lengths where we were able to carry the golf ball from 0 feet to 1 foot, then to 2 feet, 3 feet, and 4 feet. We were able to do the test pretty successfully, and there was pretty much, I would say, fewer than 2 drops. The hardest part was probably gripping it to 3 feet, but once you got a better control of the hand, it was easier to just grab and then go and just make that a pretty simple transition. The third test was the stack boxes. The same results as the first one on that one, pretty much. We were able to stack 3 boxes on top of each other with a good grip from the hand, and that went pretty smoothly, so no changes there. The next was the thumbs up. Easy enough. Was able to take the hand, pull on strings, roll up through to a thumbs up. And then, let's see, the last test was the cup test, where we had to transfer some objects from one cup into the other. For this test, we changed it up a bit. We had 3 coins, and we were going to test pouring the coins into the cup pretty much all from 1 coin all the way to 3. So we started with just gripping the cup by itself to show that we were able to hold it. Easy enough. Then we started with 1 coin in the cup, transferred that into the second cup pretty easy. Then we added another coin. So then we took it from 2 coins, poured that in the other cup, did that successfully also. And then we went ahead and did 3 coins total, and was able to successfully transfer all 3 of the coins into the singular cup. So overall, we did, with this improved version of this mechanical hand, we were successfully able to complete all the tests in fewer tries. Took all the videos, recorded the evidence, and everything pretty much went smoothly as follows.
Hello, I'm Susanna Lopez-Herrera, and I will be going over the recommendations part of the presentation. Earlier, after thorough research, we had realized that we had to improve on the design detail and specifications of the model. We had a long list of things we had to change or fix to help the experiments or goals to achieve them quicker and more smoothly, and we have applied a lot of it to this hand, making it easier and more swift on the objectives of the project. However, there was some issue taking the ball long distances. Like, we got up to 3 feet without any issues. 4 feet, it took like 2 tries. But to try and get that 1 try, we thought maybe making the palm a little, just a tiny bit, not by much, longer, and same with the fingers, but again, just a little bit. And that would probably improve the amount the hand can hold the ball. So we can take it for as long and as many distances as we want. Also, for the stacking the boxes, for this hand, it was slightly harder than the last hand. Maybe it had to do with also the palm length. Maybe we need just to increase it slightly, but we were still able to stack the boxes and everything. Also, we did fix the straw issue, which was that the straw kept on breaking. because of the string. We also discovered that if you move the straws a little bit lower, it would bend the thumb in really well. However, we did not do those for the 3 top fingers. So maybe by moving them a little bit lower, we can actually curl the fingers in to make a fist, a true fist, not like a slight fist. But our recommendations list is much smaller than our previous hand, and I would say that is improvement. Also, this is our references that we used, and next up you will see our demo video.
All right, die test.
5.
Flick action works really well. On 2 and back on 5. Cool. All right. Box test. There's 1. Second stack. Third stack. Successfully completed. Okay, next we're doing the cup tests. So first, we'll just show you the lift with the hand, with the empty cup, showing that we can lift it. Next, we're just going to do 3 separate tests with the coins. We're going to add a coin for each weight after each test. So the first test will be 1 coin, lifting, and then pouring into the other cup. That's the first one. Cool. Next, we'll add, see if it can maintain a heavier weight. Cool. Test 2 is good. Holds 2 coins. Next, we'll see if we can do 3. Hold 3 and then make the transfer. Success on all 3. Okay, so here, golf ball tests. We're just going to run through some of the simulations that we did the last time around. We're going to go by feet difference though, so we'll start at 0 feet. We're going to see if we can make it through to 1, 2, 3, and 4 feet, each on a different separate session. All right, so 1 foot first. Success. Two. Success. Feet, success. Failure on that one. There we go. All right, 4 feet, success. All right, thumbs up, Tess. Nice work. Thumbs up.